If you guys have been following me on Twitch, I've been leveling Samurai on Eden, and I've actually made it pretty far so far. I'm almost to level 39. We're getting there, guys. I think past 40 is a big breaking point. Point is, with a new job, you know what that means. Brady Games guide time. So to be honest, while the samurai pictures in, I talk about the pictures because like a lot of the times the pictures is what drew me to leveling a job. I was like, oh, I'm so just amazed by how this looks and the aesthetic. But this isn't one of those cases because they kind of just had this Hume guy and it was the two Humes. They had the two Humes that are leveling samurai. It's like all the pictures that they chose. I love when they have a little Taro doing something. The samurai pictures didn't draw in on the Taro aesthetic, like at all. There's basically, I mean, you're gonna see it in a second, but there's one little Taro who clearly is, I don't know, maybe like a thief or a monk or something else in the background, but not the samurai. They didn't find any Taro samurai, which I guess, you know, happens to all races at some point. Brady Games guide never influenced me to play samurai, not once. That came from elsewhere. Anyways, let's dive right in and see what they have to say, whether or not they give good advice. I think they did a pretty good job with some of the past couple jobs. Couple misses there, but for the most part, not too bad. So let's see how it goes. Samurai. A reading by Huntin for Games. A samurai is a very interesting style for dispatching their enemies. Like every melee job, these fighters must get in close to do their best work, but a samurai uses weapon skills at a very enhanced level. Enhanced level. Other jobs must spend the time to build up TP and make rare, albeit devastating, attacks with them. A samurai accesses TP at an enhanced rate and brings these powers to bear far more often because of it. As a main or support job, this profession is one that knocks the daylight out of beasts and villains alike. Knocks the daylight out of them. We're gonna quick hop over. The path of samurai is a way of dedication and honor. As a fighter, we focus on the use of a weapon, honing our techniques and gaining the best that the weapon has to offer. Fighting against demons, we are one with our weapons, attacking the forces of evil and holding them back with our skills and prowess, and we strive for the good of all the realms and the land itself. That's a good little kind of summary of what the samurai is. I don't know, something about it doesn't really, I don't like that they describe it as a fighter, but I guess that's accurate. It just, maybe it's, I've been playing too much D&D. Fighter just seems wrong. I guess, although samurai is kind of close in terms of actual usage. What am I talking about? Samurai race choices. A samurai focuses on weapons and their weapon skills. Because all races can contribute to their expertise in battle, they can each benefit from being samurai. Strength and dexterity are important, but vitality is also important, and agility helps anyone that doesn't like getting hit by enemies. This isn't looking good for Taro. I mean, agility, okay, but let's see where they're going with this. Galka samurai have wonderful hit points and the strength to back up their damage dealing potential. Big and tough, many people love being a Galka samurai and they can knock down enemies fairly easily. That's true, they're just pounding away at them. Elvan also come naturally to any fighting profession. With their high strength and dexterity, Elvan can take the hits and pound out the damage, and an Elvan samurai is a sight to behold going against any monster. Mithra enjoy being a samurai because their high dexterity helps them hit early and often. Their strength is also quite nice, and the increased evasion against enemy attacks is a wonderful boost. Once a samurai starts to use multi-hit weapon skills, the ability to use several skills during battle hinges on a high dexterity, thus Mithra are a logical and fun choice. The way they describe that, the extra hits now with the way TP works are like what, one TP? Now it's like 10 in the 1000% TP era. But I wonder if they're talking about the old style, where like when you did pentathrust, for instance, you would get like 50 to 60 TP back. I think that's what they're remembering. That's amazing. Is that when we're back to? I mean, this is 2004. I thought they'd already fixed that by then, but who knows when they did the research for this. Anyways, the Hume makes a very flexible samurai, contributing to a little bit of everything. They have decent hit points, strength, vitality, and dexterity, which means that being a samurai is a very practical choice. In addition, they can easily excel at any support job they choose. Yeah, I guess. Taro are very exciting to play as samurai. With their decent dexterity and good agility, Taro can get their strikes in when it counts and look forward to some evasion when the enemy attacks. In addition, the choice of white mage support job will help those samurai be able to heal themselves if it should ever become necessary. We're doing well. I love whenever they have Taro, they're like, you could just sub anything. because you've got so much MP, which is true, but they're missing the point. Amazing. Let me know if you were playing a Samurai White Mage solo or in parties, and if they're right. Then we got, you know, the abilities down here, which was at the time just Maikyo Shisui, Warding Circle, Third Eye, Meditate. That's it. I mean, geez. And then the job traits: Resist Blind, Store TP, Resist Blind Enhanced, Store TP, Demon Killer, Resist Blind again. Why is Resist Blind listed twice at level 45? Can somebody help explain that to me? Is that like a bug, or were they trying to say that it's even twice as effective at level 45, the enhanced? Because you get 1 at 5, 25, and then 2 at 45, and then 1 at 65? I don't know. I feel like that's probably a mistake. But maybe they're just trying to say you really get a double dose at 45. I don't know. And then 45, or 50 Store TP, Resist Blind again, 65, and Store TP at 70. So tons of Store TP. Apparently a lot of Resist Blind. I never really thought about that. But that is pretty cool. Moving on. The Samurai Extra Job Quest is in Newark. From Jacques Debe. I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, but man, the Samurai Extra Job Quest, we're gonna read this because it was like kind of complicated. To become a samurai, you must first do a couple of tasks for Jacques Debe. He wants you to get him a sacred branch and some sacred branch. Why did I say it like that? He wants you to get him a sacred branch and some bomb steel. 2 other people nearby have items you need to summon the monsters that carry Jacques Debe's materials. I don't know why I keep doing that. Ranamad gives you a sacred sprig, and Aika gives you some oriental steel. You can get Jacques Debe's items in any order. I don't know why I'm so fascinated by his name. I've never said it out loud before. To get the sacred branch, go to the huge tree on the eastern side of Zeta's Sanctuary at L10. There's a passageway that you follow east leading up to the tree. If you use a hatchet on the unidentified point on the huge tree, the guardian treant will appear. After defeating the treant, you must trade the sacred sprig to the unidentified point in order to obtain the sacred branch. Step 1. Step 2. To get the bomb steel, travel to Hanshat Highlands to area D8. If you trade the oriental steel to the unidentified point there, a bomb named Forger is drawn to your offering and attacks. Defeat the monster to get the bomb steel. If you fight the enemy with a party, it only drops 1 bomb steel. You can trade the oriental steel to the point every 3 minutes. I feel like this is where, like, 2 very different locations, miles and miles apart from each other. And then if you went as a group and you all needed bomb steel, you had to fight this thing over and over again. And yeah, 3 minutes is like kind of annoying to just wait in between the fights. It wasn't the most difficult of quests. I don't remember the fights being like so intense that I remember that distinctly, but it was a lot. There was a lot going on compared to the ranger quest we did on stream the other day. That was what, 2 seconds of me not being sure I was watching a tiger die correctly. Amazing. Speaking of which, if you didn't know, we do stream every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not always Final Fantasy XI, but often. Definitely come by and say hi. Bring your thoughts on the Brady Games guide in all of its glory. And other games where Brady Games either added to your experience or took away from it. I'd love to hear those stories about, like, I followed this guide and it ruined my game. Finally, return to Jacques Roubaud with the items he requested. He then tells you to return to him in 3 days. Oh my god, man, at deal time. Upon doing so, he gives you the Momento and the ability to become a samurai. There's just so much waiting, so much travel. It's a long quest. Playing as a samurai, one of the most important factors while leading up towards samurai status is to train in the right manner. If you want to be a spear-wielding samurai, use spears often during the warrior's levels leading up to your extra job quest. So I've always wondered about that advice, because it's not terrible. I think Hayden, you know, back in 2003, whenever we all started, he was leveling warrior with a scythe at one point, trying to like prepare for Dark Knight. Maybe I'm like misremembering that. That might not have been him at all. But spear's not a terrible weapon. Obviously, great axe, maybe dual wielding axes, is probably the better option when leveling warrior. But if you're gonna be samurai and you want to get a leg up, did any of you do that with the polearm? Get a little skill up early on? I don't know how the party would feel about it. Kind of an interesting approach. Levels leading up to your extra job quest, that'll help you have enhanced spear wielding statistics. Future katana samurai will need maxed out dexterity to prevent long and costly misses, so look for dexterity enhancing equipment along the way. Not bad advice. During battle, samurai have a fun task. Get your character's TP to rise as quickly as possible and unleash countless weapon skills against your enemies. Some groups may even ask you to forego skill chains and instead use skills as soon as possible. Brady Games just accidentally described merit burn parties, and Doesn't realize like how effective, sadly, that strategy will be. Where screw skill chains. Man, I'm glad on Eden skill chains are still important, but like there was a rough time in 11 where skill chains just were not desired. Anyways, with a weapon skill that strikes multiple times like the spear, polearm skill, penta thrust, you can restore a fair percentage of TP just by making the attack. This leads to battles where you can easily use weapon skills 2 or 3 times on a single target. They're talking about the old penta thrust, the old multi-hit weapon skill style. That's crazy that this review, this guide was from that era. Let me know if you were playing Samurai or Dragoon during that era. I guess who else had really good multi-hits? I mean, I guess a couple of jobs did, but I always hear about penta thrust. I guess because it's a nice big two-handed weapon, like big TP return there. How long to solo? Soloing isn't bad during the early levels, and it isn't hard to get into parties. This enables you to dictate the duration of your solo activities. In general, go after nice, even match enemies for a while with a good support job. A samurai is very deadly, so even matches won't be tough during early levels. When you're ready, join a party and use your character's abilities in an even more offensive manner. My experience was I kept dying to even match rabbits every time. Like I hear you, but careful with those even matches. They can be dicey past like level 4. Yummy targets. Anything that is easy to hit will be chewed up by a samurai. With enough strength and a good weapon, a samurai can unleash big damage. This only improves as your character gains access to higher weapon skills. Only Dark Knights, Black Mages, and Rangers can consistently outdamage a samurai. Samurai are nice. They're really solid. Can we get a little D over here? What are you talking about there, Brady Games guy? Get Brady Games some D. Beware of a samurai's low agility and avoid monsters that cause damage too quickly. You can pound through other monsters given some time, but you don't want to face anything that rips players in half with several blows. Although Samurai has the hit points, his agility ensures that those heavy attacks will land with grim certainty. It's an interesting way to look at it, but yeah, in general, we don't want to fight monsters that can rip players in half with several blows. That is a dangerous endeavor. Party dynamics. Many samurai, especially samurai warriors, can join groups without fail. You can back up tanks if there's a sudden problem, and a samurai's consistent damage will please even a grizzled veteran. A samurai eventually gains enough complementary abilities to do great things. What are these complementary abilities? Meditate? Warding circle? What are the abilities? A samurai can quickly take the place of a ranger, dark knight, dragoon, or monk on the front lines. Of those, few can hold their ground for long if aggression's turned their way. A samurai has just enough armor, hit points, and vitality to make it through when a warrior falls, or simply has to give up aggro. I love when they just focus on like the stats alone. Like now with Saigon Third Eye, yeah, samurai up front is a force to be reckoned with. And yeah, they've got decent armor and stuff, but I'd almost rather have a monk. But they were like, but they threw out monk. That's the only reason I'm saying it. Samurai are very tanky. I don't know why I'm talking about it like that, but it's just funny when they're like, they have so much vitality. I love when they bring up the vitality and the agility. Are katana your best choice? A great katana calls to every samurai who is born for battle, but there are things to ponder before choosing this weapon. This issue involves skills with multiple strikes. Weapon skills that hit many times will raise your character's TP very quickly, which is the core of samurai power. Thus, you want a weapon that gives you the opportunity. Polearms start with double attack and have a 5-hit weapon skill by level 50. Well, let's say 150, but it's around level 50. This is very early to gain access to such an ability and will make your life enjoyable to see as expect. Katana are slower than some of the other better skills, so take that into consideration. So it's funny that they consider like samurai's end-all be-all best gift to society is the pentathrust multi-hit, getting 50 to 60 TP back, and immediately weapon skilling again, because they took it out. Where it was Brady Games like, wow, samurai is basically pointless now. What a worthless job. Equipping items. Get the best weapon possible and for any level and fill out your dexterity and strength. Although armor is important for anyone on the front line, a samurai's offense is so valuable to a group that success may hinge on your output. It's not terrible advice. I mean, I would say like accuracy and eventually haste and stuff as well, but doing pretty well. Samurai is a main job, my favorite section. Samurai is divine. Who wouldn't fall in love with such a honed melee fighter? They sure aren't bad as a support job either. No matter what you choose, this job will continually renew its worth to you and your allies. Samurai Warrior. The vast majority of samurai characters level as warriors ahead of time and use that as a support job when the opportunity arises. This pairing is nearly perfect because of its ability to mix offense and defense during normal situations and to bury itself in total rage when monsters are looking the wrong way. Very true. Samurai Thief. The central goal of the samurai is to deal damage through weapon skills. This is only possible when a character can strike often and successfully, thus building up technique points. The Samurai Thief is effective because of the increased dexterity. Having sneak attack along with weapon skills of a samurai are also glorious. Honestly, I kind of miss when like Samurai Thief was just blowing out huge Tachigekko, Tachikashas and stuff for like skill chains, but we don't really see that as much anymore. Samurai is a support job. The TP increase from using Samurai as a support job makes it ideal for any physical job, even if they use ranged weapons. Interesting. This leads players to gain extra uses for their weapon skills. If you depend more on these to deal damage, a Samurai is a better choice than Warrior and its double attack potential. Dragoon Samurai. Now this is before the two-handed update and Samurai's update to include Hasso and Saigon. So they just think, this is purely, of course, it's also during the Penethrust era. We just were talking about that. So this was pretty amazing purely for store TP and, eventually meditate. But like, man, Hasso and Saigon made this what it was. This option is wicked, although it takes a lot of time to level a warrior and train in both of these extra jobs. At least you will have a spear, polearm mastered the entire way. Beyond that, the solid strength, hit points, and damage of this combo bring it to be one of the highest levels of the game. Yeah, I mean, when Dragoon Samurai was out there doing huge Penethrusts and getting that TP bag, that was a good time for Dragoon. Warrior Samurai. This combination is superb as well. All the flexibility of a warrior added to the extra TP and abilities. A samurai is one of the best support jobs for warrior. I don't remember ever seeing a warrior samurai back in the 75 era. I mean, ninja was so strong. Once the two-handed update came out, I saw a lot of like Great Axe Warriors with Samurai sub, I guess. I don't know, let me know your thoughts. Was this something you entertained? Was it effective? Was it not? I don't know. Ranger Samurai. Rangers already lay waste to anything on the field, and the added use of weapon skills outweighs many of the other offerings that other support jobs offer. The only downside of this deadly character is its somewhat lower agility. Honestly, I've never seen a Ranger Samurai. I have no idea if that would be effective. I know the opposite is good, but like, I don't know. I have no idea. I never knew what Rangers were doing. They were like always sub ninja because they're getting hate so often. Let me know what you think of these support job suggestions. Not the worst, I think, for some of the wrong reasons, and certainly based on some outdated data. But this wasn't the worst advice that they've ever given. I think the only place they really faltered was when they suggested that Tar should sub White Mage. Otherwise, guys, we're doing all right. Let me know what you thought of the Brady Games Guide for Samurai and what you want to see next. Keep on the lookout for more videos like this, and guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace out. Bye.
Oh no, if it even looks at him. Oh god.
Oh, poison breath.
I was pre-casting on him.
I'm just spamming cure. Can you cast me a refresh?
Oh yeah.
2 points of damage.
This is the hardest fight I've had in Eden so far.